Well, some old friends sent me some new material to test out, and we tried to break it. See there? Tried. That's the key word. Stick around. Let's see what this is all about. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Scott, EO3D, powered by EO3D Labs, powered by PCBWay. PCBWay is having their 12th anniversary right now for the month of July. Link in the video description down below. Be sure and check them out. They're a great sponsor on the channel now. I'm proud to be working with them.
Edge of 3D is proudly powered by PCBWay. If you're like us and have projects that cross over between electronics, 3D printing, or CNC, then PCBWay just makes sense. Most people know PCBWay for custom circuit boards, but they do more than just standard PCBs. You can quote basic prototype boards, PCB assembly, flexible and rigid flex boards, advanced PCBs, and stencils right from their site. For the kind of projects we do here at Edge of 3D, the bigger value is that PCBWay also supports rapid prototyping services like CNC machining, 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, injection molding, and vacuum casting. Whether you're making a custom test rig, a controller board, a small production prototype, or the one-off part that doesn't exist anywhere else that you cannot make yourself, PCBWay gives you one place from quote to final manufacturing. Check out PCBWay using the link in the description. And thanks to them for helping support the real-world testing we do here on Edge of 3D.
Okay, so my old friends over at GreenGate3D, Richard and Barbara, run into them at lots of Rep Festival events. They're real salt of the earth people, and if you're not familiar with GreenGate3D, they're based out of New York, and they produce PETG materials, printing filament, and they used recycled, they recycle spools, they re-roll it onto recycled spools, but they use recycled commercial plastics to manufacture filament. So great thing, and they've had great products. I've printed with a few of their different items or different filament lines. One of them being 3D Print Bunny's special color they made for her. It's kind of a metallic blue. Some of my old videos, you'd see a boat sitting up on the shelf. That was from them. And that was 3D Print Bunny's color. And it was her model. But Richard's really excited about this new PETG. And it's their G-Force line, and it's called G-Force Flex. So they sent me I printed my test samples, and that's how much of the material is left. So Barbara spooled this up and sent it to me, and she sent it by weight, and it worked great on this. There was just enough to get the prints done. Unfortunately, one of the other materials they sent me, because they sent it by weight, I ran out of material before I got all the test pieces sampled. Different video, another day. Right now, we're going to talk about this flex material. So one of the things that PETG is sometimes has a bad reputation for is being brittle. And I don't have any of GreenGate3D's regular PETG in my inventory of materials to test. So I grabbed a spool of Polymaker. This is their new formula from October last year, and printed it to compare them. And I also redid the IZOD test with the Polymaker material to use the joules consumed instead of just the 0 to 100 number I had been using previously, because I rebuilt my IZOD tester, redesigned it. It collects data a different way now. So first off, the material didn't break. This was a 60 millimeter stretch. I don't remember where it peaked out at. We'll look at that in a minute over on the chart. But the way my machine's set up is it preloads it to 5 kilograms of force, and then I start the test. It zeroes everything back out, and it starts pulling from there. When the material breaks or reaches 50% of its peak, it calls that done. This stretched all the way to 60 millimeters. I was watching the monitor on the machine the whole time it was pulling. It peaked out, and then it stayed about 100 as it just continued to neck down and flow out. And you can kind of see that there if the camera will focus on it. So The rest of the tests, I just stopped them at 6mm because it was peaking around 4, so it was irrelevant to spend the whole time stretching it out. I'll put the video up here of this material stretching while I'm doing it, and you can see what I'm talking about. But it's flexible, so you can see that. I can bend that double over like that, and it doesn't break. I am designing a new test for testing flexible materials or semi-flexible materials where it will sit there and continue to work it back and forth until the hinge fails. And I could sit here and do this with my hands, but it's not, I'm not running it the same. And you can see it's flexing it down there. I have not tried this with the Polymaker PETG yet, and it's way more rigid trying to bend it. Now it doesn't break either, and it basically does the same thing. And when I did the tensile test on this Polymaker material, it necked down as well. It did not break either. But I did all my normal tests, and I want to do a lot more testing, but until I get a full spool, I just had enough to print what I have here. The stuff printed beautifully. I did nothing special in the machines. I just used my standard PETG profile, which I believe is printing at 220 on the hot end and 80 degrees on the bed. I have some new material from Tech that they have me trying out. I'll do a video on that. It's a bed adhesion stuff, kind of like Vision Miner and that sort of stuff. I had that on this bed because I was testing it for Tech, and they released just fine. They held on great at 80 degrees. When it cooled off, I could just lift them right off there. So unlike your problem with PETG where it can become one with the bed, and in years past I've destroyed glass beds where the PETG has actually become part of the glass. Yes, it will do that. Let's jump over here to my channel or my website here where I store all my data. And when you first jump onto it, it's going to look just like this. If you like dark mode like I do, just click this button up here. I still keep this channel or this data free to everyone to use. So click on this button here and buy me a coffee. It helps pay the bills because I have to pay for website hosting every month and all the other stuff. So there is an expense to doing this, but I'm bound and determined to keep it free to everybody. And we'll just jump right into the PETGs. And here's the PETGs that I have in the database so far. And this is the peak load on the x-axis. That's the tensile test. And this new flexible from GreenGate. I will add flex here after PETG. I just got to jump over into my code and add that to it. I forgot to before I uploaded it. Hot end at 255, I guess, and bed at 80. I don't know why I was thinking 220. That's PLA. 183.53. Never broke. The yield point. This is how far it stretched before it peaked out. This stretched quite a ways before it peaked out, 4.11 millimeters, as compared to some of the others down here. No break. The only one so far that broke on the tensile test is Polymaker's old formula and their recycled carbon fiber 17, which is to be expected. It's got carbon fiber in it. Layer adhesion, right in the middle of the pack, 105.3 kilograms of force on the layer adhesion. Direct thread yield, that's a 3mm screw screwed into a printed hole 5 millimeters deep. 66.87 kilograms that held before it pulled out. Heat set is a Voron standard heat set, which is a 3mm heat set, 4 millimeters in diameter, 5 millimeters long, into a printed hole heat set in there. And it didn't improve much on the GreenGate over the direct thread. You can see here on direct thread is 66.87, heat set 83.07. So if you're just screwing to it one time and it's not going to be taken apart, don't waste your time with heat sets. It doesn't give you any benefit. Some of the other materials do. This one does not. And Izod shock. So this is my old formula. This was a number from 0 to 100, where 100 would be it stopped the hammer at the vise. 0, which actually it never got all the way to 0. A free swing was about 13 degrees, I believe, or 13 on the number. The new test actually measures joules absorbed. So this standard PETG from JO, good material, printed well, it only absorbed 0.38 joules. This natural from GreenGate3D absorbed 5.1, and the Polymaker 0.51, and Polymaker 0.52. I did not do heat deflection testing on this or minimum bending radius, because it'll go through the smallest radius I have on my tool. So there you go. That's the flexible material. I have a bunch more tests I want to do with it. And actually, the entire time I was sitting here talking, I was just continuing to flex this back and forth. And it necked to a certain point, and it hasn't necked anymore. It hasn't gotten any weaker. It's stayed about the same all the way through. But until I can get the test machine put together where it uses a stepper motor and cycles this back and forth and counts the cycles and monitors for a break and force and all that sort of stuff, you know, this is just, it's very subjective. It's me going like this with it. Let's jump over here and look at GreenGate's site. They do have this up on the site. I question their thought behind what they used for a picture of it. So we'll jump back over here. And here you go. The PETG G-Flex coming soon. Like I say, I really question this picture that they use. They're really hard up for actors if they have to use that picture for their website. But there you go. I made it on their website. I'm world famous now. Check them out. Their prices on their regular materials, even if you're not looking for something like this, just their regular 3D PETG, they've got $31.99 a kilogram for a spool of it, and American made. They're in New York. Recycled materials. They use recycled spools. This spool is one that they got, who knows, at one of the events. I have one downstairs that has a sticker on it that it was one of the over 1,000 spools they got at Rocky Mountain Rep Festival in 2023, I believe the sticker says, or something. That'll be on another video. But and I didn't bring it up here with me. I asked Rich if I could use the handwritten note that Barbara sent with the materials, but you know, it's that personal touch. On one of their notepads, Barbara wrote out the 3 materials she sent and about how much of each material, and thanked me for testing their materials. That's why I do what I do. People like that. Check them out, GreenGate3D. I love Rich and Barbara. Great company to support. They have great products, fantastic people to work with, and I can't say it enough. They're true salt of the earth people. People that I would strive to be like someday, but I'll never be as good as Richard. But I can keep up with Barbara eating crab. That's a fact. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Again, I'm Scott, EO3D, and peace out. We'll see you on the next one.